Okay, guys. So welcome back. So we will be continuing our discussion now. So this would be our day three. What is it? Session two, right? Session two, and the time is 11:47 a.m. IST, right? So in the last session, that is in today's morning session, right? We had covered up to the history command, right? Where all the commands, whatever the user is executing, right, that would be stored into your shell memory or the shell buffer memory. If somebody asks me, Rajesh, what is the shell buffer memory? Okay, in the older version of the shell buffer, I mean, it's not really required. It used to have a 1024 bytes memory. Now it has been incremented to 4096. 4096 bytes is the buffer size, is the memory size, buffer memory size where the history output are stored, or the history contents are stored. Like that, you have to understand. Okay. So now, okay, these are some of the features because we were discussing about the bash features, right? So what is the next actually? The next is aliases. Alias is very simple, guys. Alias is something like it is a short name given for a long command. Short name given for a long command. Now, if you go back to a server and if you try to check, I think, yeah, we have disconnected. Let us restart it. Here, this also got disconnected. Let us restart the sessions. So yes, I have logged in again, and you could see that I have logged in again. Correct? So we are logged in again. Now, if I try to execute a command, alias in the command, and this is a command I'm executing it. Now you could see that this will be showing you the already the existing aliases in a system. Same thing here also. If I go to the CentOS machine and run a alias command, already there are some predefined or already some aliases, the system aliases which already been present over there. So now, as I said, aliases are nothing but it's a short name given for a long command. Many times what happened, the DevOps engineer or the system admin. So I will not take any other name, guys, like DevOps or support. I'll take the name as a DevOps engineer, actually, right? So now, whenever the DevOps engineer, he has to achieve the faster execution of some command or some task is given, he want to do a faster execution, right? So what you have to do that always you have to use an alias. Like for example, you have a something like suppose that I'll go to the CentOS here. Okay, I already have some files or directories, right? Files or directories are there. Prata, Vaibhav, Ravi is a file, Kishore is a file, Bob, Amar, like you have so many files and directories are there. Correct? Now you will say that, sir, I want to go to this path, /home CentOS script. I want to go to this path and execute this path or execute this script actually. Can I set a shortcut for this? Yes, you can set a shortcut for this. How to do that? Alias, something, whenever I execute my script, it should execute like this. What is it? Go to CD to the /home CentOS and execute that first script.sh. See? So both the task, CD to that path and executing this script, both you are actually creating an alias by name my script. And when you say enter, you set an alias. Now when you execute alias command, you see that already your alias is already here. Yeah. Now you will say that, Rajesh, can I execute this like this, my script, and just say enter. See, you are running your script like this. So alias is nothing but it's a short name. It's a short name given for a long command, or for the long task execution, you can set a short name. Like for example, one more simple example. For example, I want to clear the screen. I'm just saying I'll run the command clear to clear the screen. Right? But every time I want to always give the command clear. Can I set an alias for the clear command? Yes, I'll say alias C is equal to clear. See, when I do a C and say enter, see, I can clear the screen by just giving a C. See, it's a shortcut. See the shortcut for the clear command. Correct? So why we are doing this? Because right, in our environment, in our system environment, we will be doing a lot of tasks. Like for example, in your Tomcat server, you will say that, sir, I want to go to that particular path, okay, into a Tomcat server, and I want to run a stop script, or I want to run a start script. Start script is not but starting your Tomcat server. Stop script is stopping the Tomcat server. Similarly, if you have WebLogic server, you will go to some particular path where your stop script and start scripts are there. So always, as a user, what I will do that I will have to first do a CD to that path, particular path where that stop scripts are there. Particularly, it will be there in something in a bin directory. Go to that bin directory path. There you try to do a /start .sh and stop WebLogic.sh and just say /start WebLogic.sh. So you are restarting the service of the WebLogic. Restarting service. So what you have to do that, you say that, sir, whenever I want to restart, it means that it is not, but it's a bounce, we say. Bounce means you need to restart that service. Right? So you can always set an alias like this. Alias. Okay. Suppose, for example, you are having some application known as a billing application, bill bounce. You can set an alias like this. Correct, guys? You'll just say, see to do that /home. Now, this is not there. I'm just telling you like this. WebLogic apps. Okay. Under that, you have to do CD. And then you have to say, and /stop WebLogic.sh. And give sleep for some 60 seconds. And then again say /start WebLogic.sh. See, you are setting your entire work, whatever you are seeing, setting an entire work as a single alias as a bill bounce. Do you agree, guys, with me? This thing. So sometime what happened, right? You will tend to write some big execution command like this in a shorter form using aliases. Is it clear? Any doubts you have, guys?
Question.
Yes, sir.
So it doesn't matter where we are in, right? On which directory we are.
You need to make sure that, sir, whenever
bill bounce,
whenever you are doing, whenever you are setting an aliases, you should always make sure that when you are doing CD to this path, doing any other operation like executing and all, you should have a valid permission.
Okay.
CentOS is having a permission to doing that. Some other user like Rajesh, Manish, or Paul, they cannot do all those things because they don't have a permission to do that. So whenever you're setting aliases, it is by default understood that whatever you're executing, that you are the owner of that. You have the permission. That you have to make sure.
Rajesh, my question is, suppose I am in temp directory and I executed bill bounce. Does it execute start WebLogic?
Wherever, sir, you are sitting, irrespective of anywhere, you can sit and do it. Yes.
Okay, got it. Thank you.
Clear, sir? Because you are the owner, you are setting this aliases, you have a right to go to any path and execute it. See, usually what happened, CentOS user, he'll be sitting under /home CentOS only. You can't go to the /root and execute. You cannot go into the directory only, right? Because you don't have permission. But you can go to the temp directory. Yes, every user has a permission to get into temp. There also you can go and you can run that bill bounce. You can run like this. Run it, it will work. Clear, sir?
Why is this command not found?
No. We have not set, sir. We have not set it. I have not executed this.
Okay.
I'm just telling an example that
got it.
I don't have WebLogic and all installed here. I'm just telling you that.
I missed it.
Yes.
Yep, I got it.
Okay. So now what some questions are coming. Okay, is it working only in the open session? Girish sir, what is it? Can we cron job schedule aliases bill bounce? Yeah, you can set a cron job also. Yes, obviously we have to set. Suppose you want to periodically execute this aliases. after 1 hour or within 2 hours. No, you can set a cron job. Yes, definitely. Is it working only in open session? What in by open session means? Yeah. We are coming to that, Giri sir. Yes, to make it permanent, you need to add it in your. Okay, fine, sir. So what I'm saying that now you are running, you are setting an alias. This alias is whatever you have set now, guys. This is there only in your memory, in your shell memory. It is not permanent. Once you exit from the shell, once you are out of the shell, it will be unaliased. It will be unsetted. Like for example, here I'm set an alias for executing the script of first script.sh by setting an alias of my script. Similarly, you are setting an alias of the alias c is equal to clear. Right? Now, suppose if I exit of the shell, I have exited out of the CentOS. It is unsetted now. Again, I'll go to the server. I'll copy this public IP. Open the putty session. Here. Open the putty session. Load this. Now paste it. Log into the CentOS server. See? Now, if you execute the alias command, see, it is not there. It has been unsetted. So it is not permanent. It means that alias will always be up and running till your session is up. Once you exit from the shell, it will be unaliased. It will be unsetted, you say. So similarly, if I do a alias, same thing. C is equal to clear, I'm doing. This will always be there. No problem. It will be set. When I execute alias, you could see that this is there in your memory. You can even unset it also. You said tomorrow, I don't want it, sir. I have not exited, but I don't want it means you can set unalias. Unalias C. And now you execute alias. See, you have unsetted it. You have removed that alias. You have removed that alias. So it is no longer required for you. So that's what you said, unalias. But if you are, or if you want to make that alias as a permanent alias, or you want to set it permanently for this particular user, like for example, you have a CentOS user. For this particular user only, you want to set an alias for that. Then what happened is there is a configuration file. What is that? If you do ls-a, there is something .bash rc or .bash _ profile. In any one of this file, you can set it. I can open this vi.bash rc. Come down here at the end, alias c is equal to something, clear command, and see this file. So now what happened that you have set the file, sorry, you have set the alias c is equal to clear, but when I execute alias, still I could see that it is not there. It has not been set because you have just written, you have just edited this configuration file. You have not reloaded that configuration. To reload it, either you do an exit from the shell and again relog in so that it will reflect, or else you can, if you want to, whenever you're doing any changes to a configuration file, you want to make it effect immediately. What are the changes you did, right? Then you have to run a source command, source.bash rc. So you're rereading again the same .bash rc file. Now you do an alias. Now you could see that this alias has been reflecting here. Is it clear, guys? Any doubts you are having, whatever I said till now?
Rajesh, in real-time environment, do we need to take permission from admin? I mean, changes, adding the any file.
Sir, whenever they create a user account, whenever you are the owner of that account, CentOS is a owner, you can do anything, sir. You don't need any permission for admin to do that because it is your home directory. Whatever the things which you are working, you are writing a script for executing script, you don't to have any permission. You are the owner of the file, so you have a right to execute that. You can set your own cron job. You can set your own mail server for your particular user. You can set your own aliases. Nobody will stop you, sir. You need not to take any permission. Yes,
I'm asking about you modified some file, right?
This is my own file, sir. .bash. It is my own user configuration file. This is not the system configuration file. If you are editing any system configuration files, if you don't have a permission, then you can ask the admin to provide a permission to do an editing of that file. It's the system configuration file. Okay. That also with a valid reason you have to give why you want to edit that file and all. Then he will give the permission, or else he might give you a temporary root access for you for one day. Go and edit that file and all, and then let you come out. But you have to give a reason.
Whenever we create a user, automatically this file will come.
Yes, automatically all these files will come. Yes, right.
Okay, okay,
Correct.
understood.
Like for example, here on the other day we created a Rajesh user, right? In CentOS only, right? If I'm not wrong. If I switch to the Rajesh, see, Rajesh is there. When Rajesh do an ls-a, you could see he's having all these files. This is the configuration file for that particular users. .bash underscore state, .bash underscore logout, .bash underscore profile, .bash rc. These are all the user level configuration files we say. This by default, it will come along with the user accounts. Whenever new user accounts is created, right? What's your name, sir? What's your name?
Rudraya.
Rudraya. So now what happened? I will just say sudo add user Rudray. Spelling is correct, Rudraya. R-U-D?
R-A-double-Y-A.
R-A-double-Y-A.
No, R-U-D.
R-U-D?
R-U-D-R-A-double-Y-A.
Correct, sir? I'm creating
Correct.
user account. Add user Rudraya.
Yeah.
Sudo PSSW, password D. R-U-D-R-A-Y-Y-A, Rudraya. Password 123. 123. I've set a password now. Now when I switch to the Rudraya, R-U-D-R-A-Y-Y-A, can you see here LSFNA? Can you see all these files?
Yeah, I can see.
Yes. .bashrc, .kshrc are there. But this is in your CentOS, sir. Here in the case of Ubuntu, you might not have with this name, you might have with some other name like .profile. If you go to the Ubuntu server, and here if I do an LSFNA, so there is a file known as a .profile. So you might ask, sir, what is the same as this .bash underscore profile? Yes, sir, both are same. So here you could see that the naming is changed here.
Okay.
Okay, that's the reason I'm showing you the two different flavors because you will be able to understand. So coming back here, I'll exit out from the Rudraya. I came back to the CentOS. Okay, so now whenever you want to make it permanent for that particular user, you have to edit this .bash rc. So that's what if you see, I've already edited that file .bash rc. I just added the line, no, the alias is equal to clear at the end of the file. So now it is permanent. Now you try to log in n number of times, this alias will always be there actually. This will not go off. It will be a permanent. Some people might say that, sir, if you are in a run level 3, go to the run level script. There you go and add it. Yeah, you can do that. Or else please go and add etc profile, etc bash rc. There also you can do, but that is a system level configuration files. Whenever you are changing any changes to you are doing to the system level configuration files, it will reflect to all the users. Rudraya might have did alias, but Rudraya alias might not needed by Rajesh, right? So if Rudra has a permission to go and edit etc profile, and he goes and add there the aliases, it will reflect even Rajesh also. It will reflect Mahesh also. It will reflect. It will reflect to everyone. Maybe I might use that. I might not use, right? So generally, what happened that user, whenever they are setting an alias, whenever they're setting a cron job, whenever they're setting a mail servers, it will be for that particular user only, or it should be for that particular user. You need not to do any changes to the system level configuration files. So if you do changes to the system level configuration files, it get affected to all the system, all the users who are part of the systems. Root user also it will get affected. Normal user like CentOS, Mahesh, Rajesh, Rudraya, Kiran, everyone will get affected if you are changing the any kind of a configuration to the system level configuration files. Is it clear?
Clear, Rajesh. Thank you, Rajesh.
Okay, fine. So we have to go and edit. So let me remove it. I don't need it. I'm just telling you, like you can open it and you can go and you can delete that line. Here's this file again. Okay. Now, so alias is not but the short name. So it becomes more readability. It becomes, more maintainability become very easy. People can use the shortcut for the faster execution on a day-to-day activity. That's what people set an alias. It has a lot of advantage also. Right? Some people might take a regular backup actually. They'll be keep regular backup. So they have to run some big command to take a regular backups. Instead of it, they can set an alias and call that alias in a cron job. That's all. Right? So that will become a very life easy. Or else, for example, somebody might set a alias so that you can pass different parameter to achieve different things. right? So one alias they will set, but you need to pass some parameter for that alias to work. So user can use that alias, pass different parameter to achieve certain different things. Actually, that is also possible that you can do such kind of, you can set it alias like that. Actually, first you need to set some base alias, and then you need to pass some different parameter to achieve the different requirements. So I will tell you, like in one few scripts, I will tell you where I will be, whatever I mentioned now, right? I'll be using that as a use case in my script. Also, I will tell you. So that is very important, and this becomes very mandatory, important, guys, because in our production server or in our environment servers, in other environments, right, where we will log in, like we will be doing a lot of deployment for that applications. You need to do a lot of checking. You need to even check the logs also. So for checking the logs, we will say that, oh, go to that particular path, application path, go to the particular log directory, go there and try to do a tail minus f and check all the logs. So why you want to do all those big operations? Set an alias for that. So you are only doing a log analysis. You want to do that, you have to only set a alias for that, right? So there are many use cases are there like that for the aliases. Is it clear? Good. Now after that, what we have something as a job control. Job control, basically we will be setting a cron job. I will not come into now, guys. I will come into after some point of time. Okay, so I can use either cron job or add command, set a to create a cron job. So cron jobs or the add command, basically, suppose you want to achieve any task in a forcible feature. Suppose you say that, sir, every day at night at 10 o'clock, 12 o'clock, midnight, like I want to take a backup of all the files which you have created in that particular directory. Yes, you can set a cron job for that. Or as weekly, sir, every week, Saturday, Sunday, all weekly, Saturday, Sunday, sir, I need to do a lot of cleanup activity. All the unnecessary files which are in the temp directory, that has to be removed. Please create a cron job and run that cron job. So what will happen, that will do a particular operation. So whenever you want to achieve any kind of a task to be executed at particular point of time or into particular pattern or into particular time zone, you can set a cron job for that. So this is very, very important, and this is very much required by every DevOps engineer or the system admin, so that he has to set a lot of cron job for executing various different tasks, right? So some cron jobs are there where you will be taking a regular backup from the database. Some cron jobs are there where you will try to apply the patches regularly, right? Both on the system level or even the patches to your database also, right? Sometimes what happens, right? You need to do a regular operation of, like checking how much the disk is used, right? How much mails are coming in your mailboxes. If your mails are coming more than 100, like mailbox already under 100 mails are there which has not been read, right? You will get a pop-up message or you will get a message saying that, okay, there are 100 mails which have not been read. So that you will get some kind of a notification also, alert notification. For all such things, guys, you can set a cron job. Very, very important, right? So which I will be taking after some point of time, not now exactly. Okay. So all the tasks we are performing in the home directory only, we can do it in a root. No, also no instead like CentOS. No. Priyanka, I didn't get your question. Could you please unmute and ask me the question?
So, whatever we are performing is all like history, aliases. We can do in home, in root directory also. So instead of
Yes,
CentOS,
root is also one of the user, right? He also can do the same operation.
but
Rudraya I
it,
just now created. He can also
yes,
do the same.
but sir, yeah, it has some permissions. We have to like permissions, we have to
Hmm.
give, we have to take some permissions for that, no, sir.
See,
So
all
it
see,
is,
yeah. See, whenever you are executing any commands, right? Any commands, whenever you execute any commands, most of the commands are executed by both normal user as well as the super user or the root user.
yes,
Okay.
sir.
Most of the shell features, whatever it is provided, right, it can be executed by all the users. It is not pertaining to only the root user can only run or use that features. No, whenever I'm talking about the shell features, all the shell features are applicable to all the user accounts. Whenever he logs in, he
Okay,
will get a shell. He has a right to run, or he has all the permission to do this.
okay, sir.
Now, for example,
Okay,
whenever a normal user like Rudraya logs in, he will
okay.
logs in. RUD. What is the spelling, man? Sorry. Sudo, or else I'll just do sudo. No. So Rudraya is already there. So I switch to the Rudraya. 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 So Rudraya is a normal user actually. Rudraya might not be able to execute some commands. Like suppose like Rudraya, he cannot set a password for the root for the Rajesh user. PSSW Rajesh. He don't have a permission to do that. Only the root user can only execute it. Why again? Because that this passw is a super user related command or it's a sudo command. Only the sudo user or the root user can only execute this command like that. But whereas the Rudraya can execute ls command, he can execute the date command, he can execute the ping, he can execute the who am I command, anything, the commands he can execute. But there are many super user related commands are there which Rudraya cannot execute. So let's see whether he can run the ping command. Yes, he can do it. Why? Because ping is a command which can be executed by both the normal user and the root user, because that ping anyhow, it is a super user command. But ping has something which is set known as a, I'm just telling you out of box guys, ping command has a set user ID bit set. That's the reason ping can also be executed even by normal user. Let's see, if where is ping command? See, ping command is /user bin. I think it can be executed by both nowadays. Earlier, it has to be in the sbin directory. Now they are kept in a bin directory. See, so this is something like a red color. Earlier, what happened, right? You used to have something like RWX instead of X. No, you used to have something like S here. S. So is this the same thing in CentOS? Go here. This is CentOS only, right? Yeah, this is CentOS. This is in Ubuntu. Where is ping command? User ping pin. Yes, it's the same thing actually. Now they have changed everything, guys. See, it is executable. It can be executable both by the super user as well as a normal user also. Okay, same thing here also. Clear. Now, coming back to here. So there are some commands are there, guys, where which are only super user commands are there. Like for example, if you go to a cd to the / enter and say ls, can you see there's a sbin directory is there? Bin is there, sbin is there. Yeah, sbin is there. Sbin, sorry, sbin. These commands, almost all these commands can only be executed by the super user, root user, or the sudo user. Only those commands which are executed by them is there in this. So what happened, right? Whenever you are executing any super user related commands, you might not have a permission at all. If Rudraya, if he is executing echo $path, you could see that. Can you see there is anywhere? Yes, USR local sbin is there, fine. But do you have /sbin? No, you don't have it. You might even check. You are very clever. Now you'll say user local sbin. What is it? We'll see. Okay, sir. It is a path only, sir. Okay. USR local sbin. Do you have any commands? No, there is no command. Right. So if you go to the cd to the /bin, /sbin and say ls, you have something hw clock command. hw clock command. Just check. See, you don't have a permission. You don't have a permission. Rudraya don't have a permission to execute because this command is only executed by the super user or the root user. Please understand that permissions are given for the files and directories, right? Files and directories permissions are given. Every user will have some set of permission to be executed on that file or a directory. If he doesn't have the permission, it will deny it, right? So what are all the commands which are there in the bin directory, right? All those commands can be executed by the normal user as well as root user. Whereas the sbin is only the super user or nothing but your sudo user can only execute it. Is it clear, guys? Any doubts you have? Any other further doubts you have? Okay, fine. Come back here. Yes. Now, so job control, we will try to understand after some point of time. What is a quoting? Very important, guys. So before getting into the quoting, let me explain you some other thing. Like for example, whenever you want to print a string, Whenever you want to print a string into your output, we use always a echo command. Like for example, if I do echo, hello everyone, something, I'm just typing a string inside a double quote. So when I say enter, can you see here? The whole string hello everyone is printed to the standard output or to the screen. So echo command is basically used to print a string. It is same thing like what we have a printf in C language. It's the same thing like you have a print in Python, right? You have printf in your C language. You have a cout in your C++. It's the same thing like that in your command line or in your shell. In a command line, we want to print any string to standard output or to the screen, you use the echo command. Echo will throw the same output to your screen or the monitor, we say. Now, if you say, if I say echo something, Red Hat Linux, something. If I want to display this string Red Hat Linux, I'll use echo command. Yes, it is printing fine. But your requirement is that I want to print these 3 different words in 3 different lines. So to print always 3 different words, you have to use some escape characters like new line option. You have to use like this. So when you use a /n/n, whenever using any escape characters within your echo command, guys, you have to always use a -e option. See, it will print these 3 different words in 3 different lines, right? But you could see that there is something like a space here it is created. You can even remove that blank space also. Blank space. See, now you have omitted a blank space. Okay, so -e is always used whenever you're using a /n/b. If you don't use a -e option, see, it will not, if your echo command will treat everything as a normal string and it will print it. See, it will not bring that effect. Whenever you want to bring effect of any kind of a special escape characters like /n, /t, /b, /r, okay, /i, like that, those only will get enabled whenever you're using a -e option along with the echo command. Clear, guys? Now, what I'm trying to tell here that, like, now, for example, okay, now, for example, whenever I want to display a command within echo, like, for example, whenever I'm running a date command, suppose assume that I run a date command. So date command is showing me the current time and date. It will show me, it is showing me the UTC time. It is 6:49 something UTC it is showing me, right? This is the time because this Ubuntu server, I have allocated the server from the Northern Virginia region actually. So it is showing me in the UTC time. That's what. It is not showing me the IST time. Correct. Now, if you say echo today, the date is date, like that. You're expecting that today the date is Saturday, September 16, 6:36 UTC2. Like that, you're thinking that it should print like this, but it will not print like this. Why? Because that echo command will treat everything as a string and it will just echo that string. But you say, sir, but I want this date not to be treated as a string. I want this date to be treated as a normal command only. Then you have to use a backcode. Backcode is not, but it's the ANSI C code, we say. What do we call it as the ANSI C code. See, if I use a backcode and enter, now you could see that it has expanded. So whenever you're executing any command, if the shell sees that there is any backcode in that command line, the shell will understand that though this I have to consider it as a command. It has to treat it as a command actually. Correct? So this is called as the ANSI C coding. So we also use the ANSI C coating. Coating is also used, and the coating is always in the back coat, actually, like this. You have to use a back coat. So we've used this coating a lot within our script, actually, to make as an expanded as a command only. Many times we use this coat, actually. Clear? And after that, you have something as a brace expansion, tilde expansion. These are all very simple, guys. So what is a brace expansion? Brace expansion is very simple. Like, for example, you need to create a combination of a directory. Okay. So guys, whenever you want to create a directory, we'll always use a mkdir command to create a directory, right? Is there any other command apart from mkdir to create a directory? No, it's only one command is there, which we call as an mkdir command. This command is applicable in almost all the operating system. Even in Windows also, whenever you want to create a directory or a folder, you have to use the mkdir command only. There also you're having mkdir command. In Linux or Unix, anywhere, or even in Mac OS also, whenever you want to create a folder or a directory, you have to use the same command. That is the only command we have, mkdir command. Now, whenever I'm running an mkdir command, I will have to do a mkdir. Can anyone tell me your name, guys? Okay, hold a second. Let me take some names randomly. I'll take Amit as a name. Amit Channa. Okay. Okay, Amit I will take. So I'll just say mkdir Amit. Enter. So you could see that actually Amit directory has been created actually. Right. But you will say, sir, I want to create some combination directory, sir. I want to create some combination directory. Right. Like Amit 1, Amit 2, Amit 3, like that. What he will do, he will use like this mkdir, open the bracket, Amit, close the bracket, again open the bracket, and just type something like this. See, like this he will do. Now you could see that when I do an ls, you see here it has created a combination. It should expand, right? Why it is? I think hold on, listen, guys. It will create it. Okay, let me check why it is not created like this. Mkdir, I think Amit, and then I have to use this. Okay, here I have to use a single brace expansion like this. Yeah. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah. Now you do an ls. Now you could see that Amit 1, Amit 2, Amit 3, like that. So here what happened, braces are nothing but you are expanding it actually. You are doing a brace expansions, right? Correct, guys? You are doing a brace expansion here. So this brace also very much used in our scripting. In our day-to-day activity, we use this brace expansion. For example, you use a echo command, and I will use a sp, open the bracket, ea, comma, eb, comma, ec, close the bracket, and I'll say l. See how it is expanded. Can you see it? sp, echo command is printing the output to the screen. So how it is expanding? speal, then spebl, specl. See, can you get this? So how it is working? Because of you are using a braces here. Hold a second, guys. Only 1 second, please. Okay, guys. So any doubts you have here in this?
Here, Rajesh, I have a quick question. Sorry, I missed one thing. After echo, you mentioned -e, right? What indicates -e?
-e means expression, sir. Whenever you want to use some kind of escape characters, /n, /r. For example, you see echo, hello. I want to print this, hello everyone. But before that, in between that, I want to even print some tabs. Some space should be there like this. Tab should be there. It will not work without -e option. It will not work. So what you have to do is that you have to use a -e option. I mean, sorry. See, you achieve one tab. One more tab you need. I think one more class you have to give. See, if you don't use this -e option, see, it will not affect at all. It will not work at all. See.
Okay.
So whenever you're enabling or whenever you're using any escape characters like /t, /n, /r, /i, there are around 18 escape characters are there. Whenever you want to use along with echo command, it should always have a -e option. You need to use always mandatory -e option along with that.
Hello, sir.
Yes.
Sir, like A dot out, then Amit up to Amit 5, then hello dot C, then Raj. Why these are all different colors? Like, sir, I'm not getting like.
We had covered this, Priyanka. There are 7 types of files are there, and every type of file is having some colors.
Oh, okay. I missed that, sir. Yesterday, day before. I will go to read, sir.
Yes. So every type of, there are 7 types of files. Every color file has every file has a different color actually. And how that color are given, because under etc there's a dir underscore colors is there. That configuration file is there. By reading that configuration file, your system understand what kind of a color I need to provide. Whenever I'm creating a directory, it should always give a blue color. Whenever I'm creating a pipe file, it should give a sign-in color, which is not but the yellow color. Whenever you're creating a tar file, it has to create a red color. Like that, you are having a coloring effect. Through the color also, a human can understand what type of file it is.
Okay, sir.
Raj is an executable file. That's why it is having a green color.
Okay, sir.
A.out is an executable file. That's why it is having a green color. Like that, you have to understand.
Okay, sir.
Yes. So now,
sorry, Rajesh, I have one more doubt.
Yes, sir.
Here, hello, everyone is executing, right? I want to execute everyone in quotes. How to do that one?
Yes, I will slowly come to that. Don't worry. So we'll when I start explaining about echo command, everything, in detail, right? I will be covering all other options also. I'm just telling you, so to cover up some, to cover up some concept, I'm bringing up here the commands. Okay. I've not started the commands. We have to start now. In other, after this completion, I have to start commands. There, I'll be explaining about every option, what it does actually. That itself will take some time. So guys, what is happening? What is our plan means? We'll start executing all the commands now, whatever the important commands which we use in the day-to-day activity, that will be start covering now. And tomorrow session, we are having 3 sessions actually. So what we'll be doing tomorrow, I suspect that we will continue with the commands itself, because there are so many commands are there. I might not cover in another next 2 hours also. I might not able to cover it. So next morning, tomorrow, again, it will continue with the commands with very important. And there lies important commands like find command, set command, grep command, awk command, right? These are some 4 to 5 important commands are there. Xrs command, exec command, tree command, t command, like that, test command. Like that, there are many important commands are there which we will be going through, and from there onwards, what happened? We will start writing a script actually. So tomorrow in the 3 sessions, what I'll be doing, right? I will be only covering all the basics aspect of the scripting, how to write a script, what is the syntax for a script, and how you can proceed a script. Suppose if I try to explain about the if condition. So I'll explain about the if condition. I will write 3 to 4 script on the if condition, make you understand how the if condition works and how exactly the script works. Then I'll go to the other one. I'll go to the case statement, explain about what case statement, write some 2 to 3 scripts, basic scripts, make you understand, and then go further and take a while loop, for loop, while loop. I'll take one. So I will write for each and every programming construct. I'll be writing 2 to 3 script. One will be the very basic script. Second will be the very intermediate script, and the third will be the little bit complex script. I will write it so that you'll be able to understand how I will be using those programming constructs in the script actually. So once you understand all these things, this week, that means that tomorrow, we will be covering all the basic aspect about the scripting. In that itself, there are many things we need to learn. So those things and all will be covering as part of understanding the programming tomorrow itself actually. Tomorrow 3 sessions, right? So there tomorrow we will be covering even sed and awk programming, scripting also we will cover tomorrow. So that itself will take 1 hour, 2 hours it will take for that. 1 session it will take for that. And in the next coming week, right, we will start with the advanced script. Like I will be showing you some 10 to 15 scripts. I will write the script and show you how this script works. Suppose we'll come with a problem statement and we'll say that, okay, this is the script I need to write. So how to proceed, how to start writing a script, I will be showing it. So already you have some basics knowledge now, whatever we'll be covering tomorrow. In the next weekend, what you will be doing that you will be learning that how to achieve writing an advanced script actually. So that is our ultimate goal. And from there, I will tell you like further how you need to progress further for understanding many more complex things, and then like how you need to get into understanding the Python. So that would be our end session where I'll be ending up saying that what you have to do further. And plus we will be understanding about many other things like, for example, intro question answers, troubleshooting, many other things sessions are there which we'll be covering. So next 23rd also, we will be ending up to taking 2 to 3 sessions. And if possible, if something is left, again Sunday we're going to take 2 sessions. So like that, we will be covering, we'll be finishing our task by next weekend. Is it clear, guys? Some people, means they're looking for what is the roadmap. I'm just telling you roadmap now only, right? Now, okay. So now, fine. Now, for example, so this is what the echo command I'm using, right? And I use this brace expansion, right? So brace are expanded in this way. So I'm using mkdir command to just show you that how braces are expanded. Similarly, one more example is echo command, which we did, right? So let me copy it and paste it over here after the base expansion. So today, definitely, we might not able to cover everything, guys. It's not possible because command itself is so huge that we cannot cover in 2 or 3 hours. It will take some time. But what I will do, it's not like all the commands I will cover. Most important commands I will cover. Plus, I have to even cover the VA editor also. Sometimes some people might come, sir, you didn't take this command, so you didn't explain. No, I mean, maybe I would have missed it actually to take explain about the command. But it doesn't mean that like I purposely missed. No, it's not like that. Whatever I think that it is important for us to understand at this point of time, I will cover all those commands. Maybe here and there 1 or 2 commands, 1 or 2 options, I might miss it where you might discover those commands, right? But that's the reason, like all the commands we cannot cover, guys. Only the most important commands we don't cover. We'll cover. As well as I'll be covering even some important commands related to the networking stuff, actually. So whenever you're doing any kind of a troubleshooting for the networking, right, you need to know a lot of commands which are related to networking. That also I'll be covering as part of tomorrow itself. Clear? So now, brace our expansion in this way. We'll quickly go through it. Tilde expansion. What do you mean by tilde? Tilde stands for, this is a sign for tilde, guys. When you have seen this, symbol, was a tilde. It is below our escape button. Tilde sign. Tilde stands for current home working directory. Very important because in many of the script you will see the symbol actually. So what is a tilde means? Current home working directory. Suppose if I go here in the system, let me exit out from here. I'll go to the CentOS. I will just type tilde and enter the tab button twice. See, can you see? It will show all the users, both system user and the normal users. All the users it will show you, and it always starts with the tilde. Can you see? Can you see? Recently, I created a Rudraya. See, it shows the tilde. Can you see? There's a for the Rajesh. There's a tilde. For the root, there's a tilde. Can you see? There's a CentOS. There's a tilde. Oh, it means that all user accounts will start with a tilde. Yes, sir. It starts with a tilde. Okay. Very good. Now, what is it user? Why it is used? Tilde is used for, I mean, very important. Like sometimes what happens, you want to directly get into that particular user account, right? So, like for example, you want to get into the Rudraya, but CentOS is a sudo user. Let us see whether he can get into or not. See, you don't have a permission. Okay. Let me switch to the root user. Whether he can do like this. Yeah, he has a permission. Definitely he can do that. Sorry. I think, yeah. See, he got into Rudraya home account. Similarly, he can go to the CentOS user like this. See, he can get to the CentOS home account. So by using tilde, he can go into any home account. So this is, we call it tilde. So in many times what happened, right? In the script, you would have seen this actually, like in the if condition, tilde Rajesh and do some operation. It means that you have to first get into that home directory and then do the further operation. So when you see the script, you might understand what is this tilde, why are you using the symbol. I don't know, I have never come across like that. You might think like actually like that. But you have to understand that tilde isn't, but it's a home directory. It's a current home working directory. So tildes is very much important. So tilde is also supported by your bash shell. Many other shells don't support it actually. Clear? So now that is okay. Variable substitution, very important, guys. This is every day we use it actually. Now in your bash shell, so whenever you want to make use of any variable, there is nothing like there is a variable type is there. There are no variable types.
Sir, copy that thing and the tilde expansion.
Okay, you might not need this.
No, just like a note. Thank you, sir.
Okay, so till yeah. No, it's good only. What you said is right. Correct only. We need to maintain all the notes actually. But okay. Now variable substitution. So in shell guys, there are nothing like a variables actually. You don't have any variable types. You take any language, like for example, if you take Python language, Python has a 14 different types of variables. You can define any variable as a string. You can define any variable as an integer. You can define any variable as a list. You can define any variable as a scalar. You have a different types of variables are there. Right. Similarly, in any programming language, let it be C, C++, you have a variables type. Like you have a variables type as an integer, you have variables as a character, float, double, int, like that. But whereas in Bash shell script, we don't have that. So there are no variable types as such. Variable types as such in Bash. Okay. But the max you can define a variable in Bash as an integer. So this is sometime, usually they don't ask it. Sometimes they will ask, sir, do you have any variable where you can define a particular type of variable? You can just say in the bash, sir, I can only define a variable as a type as an integer only, not more than that. I cannot define any variable as a character, or I cannot define any variable as a float, because these variable types are not supported in your bash shell. Only integer. Then you will say that how you define a variable as an integer. Can you tell me what is the command we use? You have to say, yes, sir, there's a declare command. Is there? If you say declare -i and specify the variable, something like a variable name A, now you are defining a variable A as an integer only. Specifically, you are declaring a variable as an integer. So this is the only command and this is the only option which is available where you can declare a type. Otherwise, there is no variable types as such in case of a bash shell script. Now, coming back to here in your terminal, if you come over here, and here you will say that, sir, I want to define any variable. I'll just say A is equal to 10. See, directly using variable something was A is equal to 10, B is equal to 20. See, C is equal to Ravi, D is equal to Ramesh. See, you can define any variable. Sorry, you can make use of the variable names and you can assign a value. So there is nothing like a type here. If you ask me what is the type of the variable, there is no type at all. So what the shell will do, shell will treat every variable as a string variable only. It considers internally as a string variable. Now here what happened that I have defined a variable A is equal to 10. P is equal to 20. C is equal to 3. Ravi. See, you can either give an integer or either you can give any numerical or you can even give a string also. It doesn't matter. Now you will say that, sir, I want to print this value. So you have to just say echo $ and specify the variable name. So what shell will do? Shell will extract the value of the variable A. Here I'm using $. What is $ means? Extracting the value of the variable A. And what echo is doing? Echo is printing that value. Similarly, I want to print the D variable, echo $D, I'll just say. See, it will print the value what is there in that variable. So what $ is doing? $ is extracting the value of the variable D and echo is printing it. That's what you have to say. So this is, we call it as a variable substitution. So $ is nothing but it's a variable substitution. What is by $? $, is a variable substitution. So in case of variable, $ is a variable. $, is a special character in bash shell. Guys, the same special character, even it is used even in Python also. The same special character is used in many other shells. Like it is even used in Perl, it is even used in Python, even in Ruby also it is used actually. Right? Even in the bash shell also, even within the bash shell also, this same variable can be used for different purposes. I will tell you what is the different purposes later. Okay, but one of the purpose is that, but it stores a value of the variable. That's what you have to understand. Whenever you are seeing echo $A. What dollar is doing? Dollar is actually extracting the value of the variable, and echo is printing. So dollar will extract the value of the variable. Right? Any doubts you have, guys? Guys, any doubts you have? Okay, now one more very important thing is that there is something known as a question mark in case of a Linux bash shell. What is a question mark? Question mark will give the exit status of the last executed command. What do you mean by that? Now, guys, whenever you are executing any command, yes, Ram Prasad, we will tell across, we'll come across later. Don't worry about that bash underscore history. Okay. Now, so what is a dollar? What is a question mark here? Like, for example, if I'm executing any command, guys, suppose if I'm executing ls command, ls will give you the output. It will that, sorry, ls will show the all the files and directories which are then your present working directory. ls command. Correct? Do you agree with me? It will give you. So you are getting a proper output to the screen or to the monitor. It means that ls command has successfully got executed. Right? Whenever the shell is executing any command successfully, always the return value of the command output is always 0. So to check whether that command has successfully executed or not, I use echo $? So what did I written here in the notes, guys? Dollar is nothing but it will give the exit status of the last execute command or the previous command, you can say. Last execute, or we call the previous command. But now when it comes here, I execute ls command. ls command has got successfully executed by the shell. When I do echo $? When I say enter, you could see the return value is always 0. So whenever shell is executing any command successfully, always the return value is 0. Whenever the command, where there is no command, for example, if I instead of ls, I'll do ltt, something. See, bash is throwing an error saying that command not found. It is an error actually. So there is no command with the name ltt. That's what bash is throwing an error, command not found. Now when I execute echo $? Now it will see that it is returning a value 127. 127 is an positive integer value. It is nothing but it's an error value. It's an error value. Correct? So 0 is always success, guys. So there are 256 or 255 error values in bash shell. 0 is always, it is used for always success. Apart from 0, from 1 to 255, all these are error values, error exit values, we are saying. For example, here in our case, when I'm using ltt command not found, this is the error I got. This is the bash which is throwing this error. Now, when I do the echo $? It is showing me the error value is 127. So 127 error value or error is nothing but command not found. That is the error value. You have to understand in that way. So if you go to the Google and you just say error 255 bash shell error or exit values. So can you see here? Exit status. There are 250 values are there. Where are others? I can go here. Values or exit values in bash. Exit codes or exit values here. Where is the table, guys? I'm looking for a table actually. This is exit value, okay, exit 0, exit 1, but not this one. you will get a list actually, list of all the error values, list of all the exit values. No. 0 is for success, non-zero, 1, 2, 3, 4, etc. for the failure always. That is the meaning where they're saying it. But I'm looking for a table actually. Where is the table? It's not there. Exit value tables. Table.
Rajesh, quick question. If I want to exit from the command line, should I enter any numeric value or just exit?
Sir, come again, sir.
Now I'm working on a command line, okay? So if I want to exit, I want to log out. Should I press exit or should I press any numeric value?
Exit, sir. Exit. You just say
There is
exit.
no numeric value for it.
No, not required. Exit you can do, or I can do a control D. I'll press the control and I'll say D. See, you'll come out from that. That's a shortcut. You're just generating a signal to kill that terminal.
I thought is there any numeric value?
No, that is this numerical value exit code will, when you're writing any program or the script, right, there you will mention this error code, exit code, what should be exit code.
Okay.
So that you can understand why exactly the particular function or why exactly the particular step is failing. As a script writer, you will enable all those exit codes in your program to make it more robust, to make it more readable, right? Your script, right? You will introduce all the exit codes. But for exiting from the shell, you can either use a logout command or either you can use the exit command also. Anything can use. Like here, I'll just say logout. See, you log out. Or I can use exit, or I can use control D. Anything can use to come out from the shell only. But when the script writing, right, you will tend to add on a lot of error condition in your script. Okay, if this condition is failing, okay, exit with this value. If this condition is failing, exit with this value. If this condition is failing, so you will make sure that you will appropriately you'll be using exit status so that as a user, when you're running a script, right, you will get to know where exactly the script is getting failed. With what error exit status value you will get to know about that. That's what we did. So this is one of the table, guys, not completely, but here you will get some exit code values with the naming, with the meaning and with the comments actually. Okay, you can go to this link actually. Yeah. Okay. We'll go through this link actually. Through this link. tlap.org, the Linux documentary project we say. So I'll even put in the chat message also. Okay, now. Okay, now what I said earlier, now when it comes to the question mark will give you the exit status of the last execute command. So whenever any command successfully get executed by the shell, always the return value is always 0. Whenever apart from 0, any other positive integer like 1, 2, 3 up to 255 are error value. It means that it is failure. That's what you have to understand. Okay, one more thing, guys. Okay, one more thing. Like, yeah, we check that. Now, for example, whenever you are pinging any machine, like, for example, I want to ping the machine, google.com. See, you'll ping it. It'll be keep pinging it up. Now, suppose I want to give the count. So let me ping for only 2 times or 3 times. I will use the -3 option, -3 3 times. Count. 3 times you are pinging it actually. So it means that your ping is able to successfully ping to this website. Okay, and you could see that it has transmitted 3 packets, received 3 packets, and 0% of the packet loss. Now, if I do a $, see, it will return 0. It means that the ping command has successfully executed. Can I do the same ping now? Suppose that ping, I will just say localhost something. It is pinging. Yes, this is also correct. Now, if I want to ping to some website which is not there at all, Rajesh Singh. I mean, I don't know whether it is there or not. .net. So it is not there at all. If you are able to ping rajasingh.net, it is not there, or rajasingh.com. See. So it will try to ping, it will try to check whether there is any domain with the name rajasingh.com, it will try to reach, the ping will try to reach to the DNS server, also the nearest DNS server. Okay, it will say that. Now we could see that the 3 packets have been sent, 0 has been received, 100% packet loss. Or it means that this ping command has actually failed. This ping command has actually failed. Now if you echo $, what will happen, guys? You will get the return values 1. It means that it is a failure. Correct? It's a failure. That is how always you will be checking, not only with the command, even with the execution of some condition statements. So if that particular condition is executed successfully, you will see that echo $question will always return 0. If the particular condition has failed, then you will see that it has written apart from 0, some other positive result it will return. So this is very important in our scripts, because you will be checking the condition, or you will be managing everything with the help of this with the condition statement, with the help of this echo $question also. Because based on this, you will say what you need to do further, right? Echo $question or the question mark will play a very vital role. Apart from this, like for example, we know that dollar has a special meaning in the bash. Dollar means it will give you the exit status of the last execute command. Like already I have different variables A, B, C, D, right? When I do an echo $A, you could see that it will print the value. So A is equal to 10. Echo $A, it will print it actually. Now you'll say that, sir, I'm something like I have I took $5 from you. So I took $5 from it means that literally I took a money $5 from you. But when I try to echo it, it see that I took from you. It is not printing that $5. Now you will say that, sir, I want to print the dollar also, because dollar is a money. But bash shell has a special meaning. What the dollar will do, dollar will have a value of the variable. So it is considering the 5 as a variable, and it is trying to check whether there's any variable or not. So there's no variable by name 5. That's what it is not printing anything. But I don't want to do that. I want to mask the value of the special meaning. So you have to always use a slash. Sometime in the script, you might even use this also. Clear? This also, slash also you might, because this will mask the special meaning of that variable. Okay. Okay, guys. So dollar question mark. There are many other are there, like hash is there, cap is there, again dollar is there. That I will be covering after some time with other topics when it comes, right? I'll be covering those things. Clear. Now, after that, we have something as arithmetic substitution. Very important. Whenever you are having two variables, like you have a A010 and B020, I want to add the two variables. There are 5 methods are there to do that. 5 methods are there, but we will not, I mean, I'll be only explaining about 3 methods. 4th and 5th method, we will see later. When we come to scripting, right, there I'll be showing it. Now, for example, you have a variable A010, B020. Now you'll say that, sir, I want to add these two variables, sir. I'll just say, okay, C is equal to dollar of double bracket $A plus $B. We will be using this double circle bracket most of the time, but you would see that actually I'm using a dollar here, space double bracket $A plus $B. So this is the syntax how to add these two variables, and say enter. Now you see echo $C. See, we can print it like that. Similarly, something D is equal to, this is one more way. Open the bracket, square bracket, $A plus $B. Close with the square bracket. Now if you say echo $D, see, it will print the value of the D. F is there. F is equal to EXPR, expression $A plus $B. And close the backquote. Echo $F. These are the most important, methods what we use in your arithmetic substitution. Okay, there's one more reason was a let method. I will tell you about that later. I have something as a declare method that also I will tell you later. So apart from these three methods, let method is also there, declare is also there, which you use it. Is it clear, guys? So this is nothing but your arithmetic substitution, we say. Clear? So there are 5 methods. Yes, there are 5 methods. There are 5 methods for arithmetic substitution. Okay. Right. What are the command separators? Command separators are very important, which we use in our day-to-day activity. The most command separators are semicolon, which we saw in the morning. There's something like and, there is something like or. So these are the most important command separators are there, guys. So what are the command separators? It means that you can execute uh, any commands sequentially one after the other by using the semicolon, or else you can even add on some kind of a conditions. Like for example, if the first command is getting executed successfully by the shell, then only you execute the second command. So whenever you want to use an operation where you are dependent upon the first command execution, right? If the first command is getting executed, then only I have to execute the second command. In that case, what happened? That you have many other conditions are there. Like for example, you have and, you are having or actually. So here, if you go to the examples here, and if you just say, we have seen all this ls semicolon date semicolon who. I'm executing these 3 commands. So 3 commands are executed successfully one after the other because I'm using a semicolon. It is a command separator. Now suppose if I say ls and date command. You see, if the shell has executed successfully the first command, now shell is executing the second command. If the first command itself is wrong, ltt and date, see. So the shell will say command not found. Now shell will not execute the second command, even though it is right. So always here in the case of and, always the second command will get executed only when the first command is getting successfully executed. So here in this case, ls command has got executed successfully, and then it is executed a date command. But whereas here, if the first command itself is getting wrong, it says that command not found. Now shell will not execute the second command even though it is right. Suppose that the first command is correct, and the second command instead of date, I have put data, something. So first command is successfully executed the shell, that is ls output, you got it. But now shell is execute the second command, but second command is saying that command not found. Correct? So similarly like that, you have a or, ls or with date command. Whenever the first command has got successfully executed, now shell will not execute a second command, even though it is right. It will not execute. In case of a or, any one condition should be passed. Whereas in case of and, both the condition or the first condition should always be success. Then only the second condition or the second command will get executed. Whereas here, if the first command itself has get executed in case of or, now shell will not execute the second command, even though it is right. It will not execute at all. If the first command itself is wrong, like ltt, should say that command not found, and now shell will execute the second command. So it's all depend upon the which conditions you're using. You are using either and or. Based on that, it will try to judge what I should take a action, next action. Is it clear, guys? This is simple, right? It is not that complicated, right? To understand, right? Correct? But these are all the some of the things which we should know, because when writing a script, we will be using all those, all this, features of the bash shell we will be using in our shell script action. Clear, guys? Any doubts you have so far? I know for some of you, it might be kind of a repetition for this because you might have learned this earlier or you might have known it. For some people, it might be very new. Some people, it might be like, you might have a doubt like what and all I'm teaching, where I'll be using that, because all these concepts, whatever I'm telling you guys, it will be used in scripting actually, because when you write a script, when you show that there, you'll understand actual use case of this, all these things, whatever you learned. Then you'll be able to appreciate, okay, this is why I'm using in the script actually. Right? So that's the reason all these are kind of a building blocks. Whenever you want to achieve anything, first you need to learn all the building blocks. Once you are comfortable with the building blocks, then you start writing a script. It will become very easy. Clear? So that's all about this shell feature, guys. Any other doubts you have? If not, then we'll proceed further. Okay, we discuss some 8 to 10 shell features, actually, batch shell features. There are many are there, but this is sufficient, okay, for us. Okay, now, so what is the next topic now? So next topic, what we're going to cover is the commands. Before commands, what I would want to cover is that before commands, guys, I want to explain something about the login shell and a non-login shell. Very important. Not really been asked anywhere, but still, it is better to always have some fair idea on about this concept. Also, what is a login shell, or what is a login and what is a non-login shell? You need to have some basic idea. I'm not expecting that no, you should know many things actually, but very basic idea. Now, what is a login shell? Now, you know that in every system, operating system, right, a user accounts are getting created, right? So here in our case, in a CentOS, you saw now that I just created a Rudraya also, right? Rudraya is a user account which got created, right? And I gave the password as 123, right? Now what happened, whenever a Rudraya want to log in into the server, you can log in with the server with the help of the username Rudraya and specify the IP address of that machine. It will try to connect. You will try to connect to that machine. Once you connect to the machine, it will ask you for the password to authenticate it. You give the password as 123. You log into the system. So whenever a user accounts or whenever user, he provides a correct username and the passwords. What happened when the system will does an initial check on the username and the password. When both are matching, it means that whatever the data, whatever the inputs where the user has given to log into the server, right? He has given it correctly. Then the system will allow you to log into it actually. As soon as you log into it, actually you will get a shell, and that is nothing but the login shell. Okay, it is that simple. So whenever a user logs into the system, so whenever a valid user with the username and the password logs into the system, he will get the default shell. So in our case, Linux, you will get a default shell, and that is about bash shell, right? So as soon as he logs in, he will get a bash shell actually, and this shell, and this is called as a login shell. Very important, right? When our user logs in, you will get a shell actually. That's because of login shell. Now, but how do you got a login shell? What are the different configuration files which were executed to get a login shell? So you need to ask, or you need to understand, okay, is there any configuration files which are getting executed you to get a login shell? Or just I'm just getting directly a shell? No, you are getting a shell, but how the shell behaves, or how the shell has got created, or how the shell is allocated for your user, or for the particular terminal, or for that valid user, it is all depend upon some of the configuration files which are getting executed in the background. So as soon as you give a username and the password, you log into the system. You log into the system is actually you are executing some configuration files. Once the configuration files are getting executed, then only what happened, the user will try to log into the system. So as soon as you log into the system, he will get a shell, and that is a login shell. So during logging in, you have to say like that. During login into the system, there are some configuration files which are being executed, which have been executed to get the login shell. So once those configuration files are getting executed, guys, then only you'll be able to get a login shell. So here in this case, what happened, right? If you see it here, I have a Ubuntu, I have a CentOS. Both these are login shell only, right? Because I log into the system by providing some username and providing some password file. That is a PPK file. So when I give the PPK file, username as CentOS and give the PPK file, right? You are able to log into the system. Means you have the right to make use of the resources provided by that system. And how you can make use of it by working within the login shell. It means that once you log into the system, you will get a shell, which is a default shell, which is nothing but the login shell. So how you got that shell, or what are the different configuration files which are been executed you to get a shell? That's what I'm saying. So what are those different configuration files? So basically, almost all the configuration files, guys, are divided into two different types. What are those? One is a system level configuration file, system level config files, or the configuration files. And other is user level configuration file. What are the files which are comes under system level? What are the files which come to user level? Yeah, let us see. It is not that difficult. It's very simple case. So what are the system under system level configuration files? Files like etc profile will get executed first. The first important is etc profile. Second is under etc there is something as a bash rc. The third is under etc there is something like a dir underscore colors. Second guys. Sorry guys, got a call. So where I was, yeah. So there are some system level configuration files are getting executed. Okay, so these are all etc profile, etc bash rc, etc dir colors. What are the others are there? There are some of the other files are there, like under etc, there's something a directory by name profile.d. Under this profile.d directory also there are many files are there, configuration files are there, which are even getting executed. And apart from this, there is something like etc input rc. So these are some 5 configuration files are there. This is a directory, okay? Under this directory, there are many configuration files are there, right? There is something like a vim.sh is there, okay? Ksh dot is there something. Some files are there, right? Those files are also getting executed. Even input rc is also getting executed. When all these configuration files are getting executed, then under the system level configuration files, like for example, in the morning you saw dot bash underscore profile, and the second is dot bash rc, like that, dot bash rc. So these are the user level configuration script. Even like you can even have a dot bash underscore logout. Even that also you can consider, but okay. So these are some of the configuration file for the users actually. Yeah, vimrc shadow password. Yeah, correct. Yes. Now, so how in an interview they might ask, okay, man, when you are trying to log into the shell, what are the different configuration files which are getting executed? How is going to get a shell? So what I have to tell that, sir, these are the configuration files, user level configuration files and the system level configuration files. Both are getting executed. You to get a login shell, sir. You have to say. So now what happened, guys? If you explain in a diagram, Unix, what happened, right? Whenever you make your system up and running by booting a system, right? Okay, by booting a system, you'll switch on a system, right? By providing a power. As soon as you power on system, the kernel comes up, and finally the kernel will be up and running. What happened at the kernel? It is going to create the first process, which is the init process. Init process, the first process, and always the init process, the period is always 1. That's always 1. Now what happened? This init process, guys, it is going to create or it is going to spawn a lot of daemon processes. It spawns or it creates a lot of daemon processes. Also it creates actually. One of the daemon process what will create is a jetty process or VTTY, or you can call it as a main-jetty process actually. So this main-jetty process or the getty process, this is the daemon process, which will always be running. So this getty process, the daemon process, which is running, no, this is particular to the terminals. So this jetty process will be running. Because of this jetty process only, guys, what happened, right? You will get a prompt where it will be showing you like this screen is showing, it will be showing, right? Please provide the username and the passwords like this. You have to provide the username and the password like this. First, you give the provide username and then provide the password. So what happened, right? So this, whatever the login terminal you're getting, no, that is because of this main jetty process or the jetty process, whatever it is running in the background. Now what happened, as soon as you give username and the password, what happened, right? A process will get created, new process will get created, and that is nothing but the login process. So the main jetty process in turn will create a login process. Like that you have to understand. Main jetty process in turn will create a login process. This login process, what it will do, no, it will try to read the configuration file. What are the configuration files it reads? It reads the system level configuration file. Like whatever we have displayed in our notepad, right? That will execute the system level configuration. Once it successfully executes the system level configuration file, then it will try to execute the user level configuration. Once the system level configuration files, that means that all the scripts are getting executed. Who is executing, guys? The login process is executing. Once it is executing system level configuration files, then user level configuration files are getting executed. Both the get has to get executed. Who is doing? The login process is doing. Right? Once both this process are getting executed, guys, then only what happened, right? A bash shell will get created. So this login process, it's going to create a bash shell. This is about your bash shell. This is how it happens like this. Is it clear, guys? The backend, how things happens? Correct? Do you have any doubts in this? Now what happened, right? In some system, it could be a jetty process, it could be some min jetty process, or it could be some other name. But understand that there is some process, daemon process, which is always be up and running in the backend. Now what happened, right? As soon as the user provides some username and password, this jetty process or the min jetty will create a login process. And this login process is going to create further with the bash process. But how the bash is got, simply doesn't create. It will first read this configuration file, whatever there under system level configuration files. Under system level configuration files, these are the configuration files are there. Under user level configuration files, these are there. Once everything is getting executed, guys, then only you will get, finally, you will get a bash shell. Now to make you understand, or to understand you, go here to the CentOS machine, execute a command, ps-ef command. Now if you scroll up, is there anything by name jetty process or main jetty process? Is there anywhere knows a main jetty or jetty process? No. Can you see? Has been a jetty process. Yeah. Now can you see the ID? What is the PID? 1042. Now after that, you got a shell actually. 2146 actually. 2163. It's a SSD actually. You are doing SSD. 2163 actually. 2163 again. It is the parent is 2160. 2160. The parent is 1038. And 1038 is a SSD service. It's a daemon service. Like that you have to understand. Means that it's a parent. Means, but actually speaking, in a Linux machine, this is how it gets created. This is what the chain actually. Right? Means that the init process will create a jetty process, jetty will create a login, and login will create a bash. This is how you have to explain in the interview also. Whenever they ask it, they don't usually ask such things, but you have to understand. And all this, guys, whatever you are seeing, everything, these are all script files only. All these are script files. You can go here. You can go to the CentOS machine and open etc profile. See, this is all script only. See, It's all script only. You will understand after some point of time all these things, but right now, no, we are not. And then etc bash rc, very important. All these are very important files because we will be working on all these files also. Sometimes we will be editing some of the things or some of the things in this file we will be editing. Some people might ask us to explain the whole script only because they want to understand the flow about how we are getting a shell. So I'm saying that we are getting a shell by executing this configuration file, but how it is created? Can you tell me? Yeah, we can explain it everything because when you go through this complete script, you will understand it, how it is getting created. etc dr colors. So this is a coloring file. This is what I said, Priyanka, right? This is what the file through which actually the coloring will come into the picture. And once this is getting all your keyboard repeat rate, keyboard settings and all, it is there under the etc input rc file. etc input rc file will have a keyboard repeat rate, all your keyboard settings, everything will be there under etc input rc. In some machines, it will be having this will be having. In some distribution, it will not have. Here this is CentOS. Here you have input rc. But if you go here in a Ubuntu, here you check whether that file is there or not. etc input rc. Here also it is there, but in some distribution they have not kept this, or this file is not there, or it has been there as it has been renamed to some other name. Like that also you will find sometimes. Clear, guys? So once this is executed completely, these files are getting executed, then these files will get executed. User level configuration files like .bash_profile. You come over here and I'll quit from the file. vi, when you do ls-a, can you say .bash_profile? Yes, it is there because it's a hidden file. It starts with a dot, it's a hidden file. So .bash_.bashrc, and we have some .bash_logout. Correct? So these are the configuration files. So I can even use the cat command .bash_profile. This is also a shell script only. Okay, and then cat of .bashrc. Right? This is the script only. So once all these are getting executed, then only you will get a shell, nothing but the login shell, we say. So login shell has all kind of authentication to work in a system, right? From the login shell, you try to move into some other shell. Those shell we call as a non-login shell. So non-login shells. So we have to just say first for the non-login shell, we don't have any username and the password. You cannot directly log into this those non-login shell. It doesn't have any username and the password. Username and passwords are not applicable for the non-login shell. There is no username and password, right? But you can get into a non-login shell but you can get into other shells, non-login shells, by being from being in the main shell itself, or by being in the main login shell itself, you can get into some other non-login shell. Like for example, here, when I do a echo $bash, echo $shell, echo $shell, you could see that I'm into the bash shell. So from being a bash shell, suppose I want to move to some other shell. I'll just say sh and enter. See, now you are in the bound shell. From the shell, I want to go to the conch shell. Now it is a conch shell. From the conch shell, I want to get into the bash shell. Now into the bash shell. So from your main shell, you went into the bound shell, and from the bound shell, you went into the conch shell. From the conch shell, you went into the bash shell. Now this bash shell, conch shell, and this sh shell, all these three shells are non-login shells. So if I execute a command ps3 and enter, you see here, guys. First, I was into the bash shell. Now I move to the conch shell. Then from there, I move to the I move to the bone shell. From the bone shell, I move to the conch shell. From the conch shell, I again move to the bash shell. These three shells will be called as a non-login shells. For the non-login shells, there is no username and password required. You can directly log into the shells. But now the question comes that, sir, why we need a non-login shell then? Yeah, there are some chances are there where suppose assume that you are in a bash shell. Assume that you got some script which is written in the conch shell. You'll say that, sir, I want to execute that script in the conch shell. No matter, man. You get into the conch shell, execute script, and then come out from that. right? So now these three are nothing but non-login shells actually. So whenever I want to get back to this main bash shell, you need to exit thrice. Exit from here, and exit from here. Can you do it? See, I can run a command exit. See, exit. Exit from the bash shell. This is not non-login shell. Exit from the conf shell. Exit from the sh shell. Now you're in your main bash shell. Now again you execute the command ps3 and enter. Now you could see that you are now sitting under your bash shell. So from being in a login shell or being in the bash shell, you try to move into any other shell, and those shell will become a non-login shell. That's what at this point of time you have to understand. Don't break your head much into it. You have to just say that for the non-login shell, sir, you don't need any username and the password. You can directly log in from your being inside a login shell. You can move to any other shell. Some people might ask, sir, okay, fine, sir. You said that actually these are the important configuration files which are getting executed, you to get a non-login shell actually, correct? Fine. But for a non-login shell, so whenever I get to a non-login shell, does any kind of a configuration file is getting executed? Yes. For a non-login shell, always etc bash rc will get executed. This is the only file which will get executed whenever you log into the other non-login shell. Otherwise, other rest of the other configuration files will never get executed. Only this is the only file, guys. This is you have to keep it in your mind. Some crazy person might ask you. It's not mandatory that even when it is not mandatory that you should answer this question, but I'm just telling you that you have to just from they might ask, oh, from the main login shell you try to move into some other shell, that will call as a non-login. Yes, you have to say what is the configuration file which will get executed for you to get into a non-login shell. You have to say that etc bash is the only configuration file which will get executed. That's what you have to say, and you have to stop it there. So don't explain anything further. Clear, guys? Guys, I know that some of the things means for you it might be boring, or it might look like why I need to learn all these things. But trust me, guys, these are all important in our scripting. We have to have a knowledge on all these things. Correct? So, guys, does these things make sense for you? Did any of you knew about this everything earlier? Balkrishna, sir?
No,
Anand, sir?
no, sir. No, sir. No, sir.
No, sir. I
We
am
have to
new
know this.
for this topic, sir.
Huh? Sorry?
This is the first time we are hearing the topic.
This is first time I am hearing, sir.
Okay, means you might be fresh or you might be new, but some experienced people will know all these things. It's not like that nobody knows. Everyone knows it. Experienced people will know because they have dealt with these files. While going through the files or information about this, they have come across with all these things. See, now what happened now? Now you will say that, Rajesh, can I refer all those PDFs quickly to understand? Yeah, please visit the files. They'll explain all these configuration files. So now when you start reading the PDFs, guys, you will get more and more information you'll get. Some things sometimes what happens for some of you, when you're reading the PDFs, some of the sentence you might not understand at all. You will not understand. You'll say, what is it? What is trying to tell? I don't understand. Then you will try to ask somebody to explain what he has written it actually. That is only the person who is reading the PDFs or who is having a habit of reading. Otherwise, you have to only listen to some person who is telling something to you. That's all. If you're not reading, if you don't have a habit of reading, guys, then you need to listen to someone who is actually explaining you. Correct? Or you have to just Google it out for some things to understand. That's all. You will not be able to understand in a very detailed manner. But if you have a habit of reading, you can learn many things by your own. Clear? Okay. Okay. So we covered login shell, non-login shell, which was very important. Yes. Now, after this, we'll try to understand about the variable. Simple stuff. We'll complete this, and then I think we will be winding up for today's session. What time we started at? 11:45, right? Okay, we have not started. We are not completed, guys. Even commands also. So I suspect that tomorrow the first 2 hours will go only for commands, or more than 2.5 hours. And then I have to explain about the pipes, filters. My God, so many questions, so many things are there to be covered. No problem. Next week also we are having Saturday, right? We will cover even 2-3 sessions there also. Don't worry. Don't worry about the timing. So I'm not really worried about the timing and all. So I'm only worried about completing the whole syllabus, whatever it is there. Clear, guys? So I hope that yeah. System level declaration, yeah, it's correct only. System level declarations, or you are saying that actually whenever you want to add on some kind of a functionality which you needed, whenever the shell logs in, right? You need some kind of functionality. Yes, you can edit all these files, but make sure that while editing a file, right, guys, don't do any mistakes in syntax, or don't do any mistakes in the existing file. Please don't do that. If you do it, actually, then it'll mess up. Then you will not be able to log into the shell only. Please don't do that. Always, whenever you are doing any editing of any of the configuration files, first you need to take a backup of that file, right? So always, whenever, suppose for example, this is a good habit. Whenever you are into the Ubuntu, suppose you want to edit the etc profile, don't open directly like this. Like this, don't do it. Always do a copy of etc profile file as etc profile dot original. Like this, you have to always take. This is what the very you have to sudo command, because sudo, see, always you need to take a backup of this file and then only edit that file, because tomorrow what happened, right? If you have messed up this file, you can recover back data, or you can copy with the same content into this file actually anytime. So even in the industry also, not only here, even in the industry, when you're working as an application engineer, or when you're working as a DevOps engineer, you will tend to edit a lot of configuration files or important files. So always you'll take a backup of that file and then do the editing, because tomorrow what happened, you have edited many things, but things are not working. So your developer might say, hey, have you taken any backup of this file? Or you can you revert back all the changes? Then if you're not taken a backup, you might have did 100 changes. You need to revert back all the 100 changes. You might not even remember where on the line or which are the lines we changed it. So it becomes very difficult. Always you have to keep the latest original copy of that latest content of the file as a copy always. That is always a very, very important habit you have to make in industry when you're working. Always take a backup of every file. Even for the source file, even for the script also, sometime we'll take a backup of that script and then try to edit this file. It means that first you'll take a backup and then do editing, because if something mess happened, right, you can still recover back your file. That does make sense, guys? Always, even when I was in my previous organization, Lumen, right, or every configuration, I was taking a backup. That is a very, very good habit. Okay, now, so yes, sir, what you said is right. It's okay. Okay.
Sir,
Okay.
could you please show that alias is when we want to set alias in the etc profile, it is applied for entire system. If not, if we want to make it our user profile alone, which file we need to be mentioned?
Yes. For example, here, sir, whenever you are having suppose, for example, you are having a CentOS, sir. Okay. So what I will do, I will use I'll switch to the root user. Here, I'll go to the etc profile file. Very important file. It's a big file. Later, you can understand, so once we complete our shell script, right, you can understand the complete syntax of everything. It's very, very simple and very easy. So here you'll say, sir, I want to execute the ls command. I execute the date command. As soon as I log in system, I execute the who command. I also have to execute the alias as c is equal to clear. You have set an alias as well as you have added some 3 or 4 commands in this file. And I will say this file. See, as a root user, you did an etc profile. Right? Now what happened, right? You will log in as a CentOS user. See, you'll go here, you'll copy the CentOS IP, CentOS OS IP. This is a public IP. Go here, open the putty, just load the CentOS, and then paste this IP and open it. Can you see here, guys? ls command has got executed. date command has executed, who command got executed, all the even alias, see, C is equal to clear, that has got executed. If in this server, if you are having a normal user, like for example, we had created some normal user also, right? For example, I created a Rajesh or I created a Rudraya, right? Let's see whether the Rudraya, if he can log into the system, copy this public IP. Okay. Or else, let's see if you sudo su Rudraya. For here also, for him also, ls command is executed, but nothing is there. That's what it is blank. Date command is also getting executed. Who command is also getting executed for Rudraya. And also, if he gives an alias, you could see even he is seeing this alias here. So etc profile is the system level configuration file where it will be reflecting all the changes to all the users. Is it clear? Similarly, I switch to the Rajesh. See? Here also, I mean, I'm in the Rudraya. I will not be able to, because Rudraya is not a super user, pseudo user. I want to get back to the CentOS, and then I need to switch to the Rajesh. See, ls command, date command, who command, and here also you can see the alias is there. Alias is equal to clear. It is there, set here. Clear? So this is what it is. Now, whenever you want to, you don't want to reflect to everyone. You want to have only the changes only to the Rajesh only, right? Then what you have to do that, guys? You have to open the bash RC. Open the bash RC file. Go and edit here at the end. Same thing. ls command, date command, ping -3 times www.google.com alias L equals ls-ltr. See, this is for the Rajesh user actually. So Rajesh has created. Now I'll exit out from the Rajesh CentOS. I'll open the VI etc profile. Go to this file. Go then remove all these things. Remove all these lines. Say this file. Now you have did the changes to your Rajesh. Now you switch to the Rajesh. So see here. You execute ls command, you execute date command, you execute ping command, as well as you have set an alias. What is that alias? See, L is equal to ls-ltr. This is alias you have set. So because, but whereas for the CentOS or for the Rudraya, do you have that? No, you don't have that. You don't have for the Rudraya. You don't have for Rudraya. So sudo su -Rudraya. See, nothing will get executed because under him he has his own .bash _ bash rc. There is nothing is there. That's what it's not getting executed. Sometimes some people might say that, sir, while executing, while logging, it's before login system itself, like some things should work, sir. Some setting should happen. Then what happened, right? There is a file by name etc/rc.local file. Under etc directory, there is something etc/rc.local file. Can you see rc.local file? Here, what happened? Many of the people will edit this file. They'll open this file rc.local and they will edit this file also. Here, they'll say that, okay, you need to ping while log into the system. Please do a ping to www.google.com. Like that, people will. By that, before the system comes up or during the system comes up, right? Whenever they want to execute particular task, at the time they will try to do a changes to the etc/rc.local file. This is the file where they do a changes. Right? So even there is something MOTD, measure of the day, right? So here you have a sudo vi MOTD. So this file is there. Here also you can enter like this actually. What is it actually? Very star. You would have seen that in some companies they will write welcome to Wipro, something like that. They'll say, right? So they will add all the strings to the MOTD actually. And they will save this file. So when you log out and when you try to log in again, the CentOS, right? Copy the IP. Again, go back to your, see, load the CentOS. See, can you see? Welcome to Wipro. So how this came is because you change this MOTD, message of the day, right? Or they can even give the timing also, date and time, whatever. Yeah, it's like a banner only. Yes, banner only. Earlier we have something as a banner. Now we have MOTD. Yes, right, right, Ram Prasad. Clear, guys? Okay, let me do changes because I don't need this. MOTD, message of the day.
That only when the CentOS user is logging, it will show the message.
All users, sir. Rajesh logs in, CentOS login, root is anyone login. MOTD is common for everyone.
Okay.
Okay. Now, okay, sir. So coming back here, now what we are saying that we will be discussing something on the variable. So let me complete this one, guys. Then we will wind up today's session. Is it fine? So I will take another 20 minutes more to complete this. Okay, please bear for another 20 minutes more. Then we will be wind up in today's session. And what we will be discussing tomorrow, and also we will discuss, because we have not even started command also. Command is there, and even like pipes are there, filters are there, and you have various different commands, and then like we'll get into like tomorrow also. It will take some time actually, but we will be completing some programming or some scripting tomorrow, and in the next week again we'll be continuing the scripting, and then we'll get into advanced level. So there are many stuffs are there which I need to cover, guys. Okay, so variables. So now, what are variables? As we discussed earlier, variables something like you can define a variable to some value actually. So we say variables are nothing but variables are nothing but it's a label that assign some value, right? Variables are nothing but the labels that assign some value. Like here in our case, I assign a variable A is equal to 10, B is equal to 20, C is equal to Rajesh. I'm assigning a variable to a value. So A, B, C are nothing but variables, which we call it as a local variables. Actually, we call even it as a local variables. So variables, local variables are those variables which are used within that shell. Those variables which are used within that shell. Within that shell means within that login shell. You cannot make use of the same variable in the other non-login shell. You cannot make use of it, right? So local variables, and then like we have an N1 variable. N1 variables are nothing but the variables which are used across all the shells actually. Those variables which are used across all the shells actually, right? So now when you come over here and when you say A is equal to 10, this will become a local variable, guys. And when you do echo $shell, so echo $A, now you could see that you are printing the value of the variable A. Now you say that, sir, I want to move into some other shell. Let me move into the conn shell. I'll just say case it's conn shell. So now you are in the conn shell now. Now if I do an echo $A, you will never print that value at all, because that value A you are defined is in a main bash shell or in a main login shell. From here you try to move into some other shell, that will call as a non-login shell. Now if you try to do echo $A, it is not printing because that variable is not an environment label. You cannot print like that, right? From here again I'll go to the bash shell, assume that. Again bash is also a non-login shell. When I try to do echo $A, you cannot print it again because the non-login bash, conn shell, these both are non-login shell only. So what I will do, I'll exit out from here and I'll exit from here. You came to the main bash shell. Now if I do an echo $A, now you could see that still the variable exists. You can print that value. Now you say that, sir, I want to make any variable, a local variable, as an environment variable, means you need to export that variable. You have to say export A. You are exporting this variable explicit to all other subshells also, or all other non-login shells. Now you exported a variable. Now I'll go to the conn shell. Now I do an echo $A. Can you print the value? Yes, you can print the value. I'll go to the SHL bound shell. Can I execute the echo $A? Oh my God, what happened? Echo $A. You're able to print. You can go to any shell and you can execute it. Here, what you're doing, you're explicitly exporting the variable. Explicitly exporting all the shell variables, so that by using the export command, so that other shell can make use of these variables. This is very important, guys, because what happened, sometime what happened, right? You want to explicitly export a variable so that you can make use of in every way, everywhere, then you have to say export and the variable. You might have seen sometimes, suppose, for example, whenever you're, this is out of things which I'm discussing. Suppose when you're writing any Jenkins file, right? You might be using, like you might be writing some freestyle, freestyle project, or you might be writing a declarative pipeline scripting, whatever might be there. You might be writing a script. You might be using a lot of variables within your Jenkins file itself, because in the Jenkins file, inside the Jenkins file, you might be using some variables. So always you make sure that, okay, those variables are always been exported, we say. So maybe you might be logging into some server, and then you might be using some variables. But sometimes what happens, the Jenkins server might not read that variable at all, because Jenkins has its own instance. When it is trying to do an SSH, or when it's trying to do SSH, some variables it might not able to access at all. Then what happened, that you will get an error saying that it is not able to find this value from that variable. So when you're trying to troubleshoot that, you will understand, okay, your Jenkins is working, it is trying to connect to that node and it's doing, but some or the other, it is not able to read that variable. Whatever is there in our shell, or whatever is there in our machine, it is not able to read. Then you'll understand, oh, okay, it means that I need to explicitly export it, man. You export that variable, now Jenkins will start reading that variable. I don't know how many of you have observed this, or if you have come across with these issues and all. I have come across with many times all these issues. That's the reason I'll always make sure that whenever you are passing any variable from your server where the Jenkins server has to read it, I'll always export that variable. Is it clear, guys? So now what I'm doing here, I'll exit out from it. Right? Now you are having echo $A. You have value. Now, suppose if I take the value A to 20 or 30 or 40 or whatever. Echo $A. See, now the value is 40. Now, if I go to the console, does it reflect the changes? Yes, it reflects the changes, because there is only one variable A which you have exported it actually. If you are doing changes to the value of that variable, you change to some other value, it will get reflected everywhere. So this is a very important use case where you will be exporting the variable. So whenever you want to make any local variable here, whenever any local variable, you want to make it as an environment variable, means you need to export that variable. Export means making a local variable into an environment variable. Is nothing but you need to export it. So guys, till here, are you clear? I know I'm a little bit fast, but did you understood whatever I said now till now? If not, then I would explain it again. I will repeat it again.
Good, sir.
Okay. Others, guys, other people, Girish, Mohammad Akhtar, Priyanka, Ram Prasad, Ravi, Rudraya.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Fine.
It's fine. It's fine, sir. It's now.
Okay, good. Now, so your shell, that is a bash shell, it has many of its environment variable assigned to it. It means that already it is having a lot of predefined environment variables. How to check it or how to test it? What are the variables it has? You have to go to this server and you have to run a command print env. See, it will show you all these variables, whatever the shell variables are there, right? That will be displayed over here. Some people, what they will do, that they will just do a print env or just do an env. Env will also do, or it will also display all the shell variables, or even the set command also. Yes, env, set env, or print env, or just a set command. it will show all the shell variables, right? Now, if you see, most of your shell variables are always in the uppercase letter, guys. It will not be in a lowercase, it will be in uppercase. I want to check what are all the shell variables are there. See, if I do a echo dollar of, don't enter anything, you tap twice. Can you see all the shell variables? The same thing applicable even your CentOS also. I'll go to the CentOS. This is my CentOS machine. And if I do an echo, then dollar, don't enter, guys. Just to do after typing this, just to do an enter tab button twice. I'm entering the tab button twice. Can you see all these are variables? These are all nothing but these are all environment variables. These are all environment variables, or you can call it as a shell variables. These are all shell variables. Very important, because in our shell scripting, we will be using all these variables directly into our script actually, because we need these variables. That's what we'll make use of directly and print. Or else we might define some variable by your own in our shell script and we use that. Anything is possible. Now, if you see it very carefully, you're having something as a .bash underscore version. So this variable will have a version number. If you go here and if you just say echo dollar bash underscore version, see, it will show the version of the bash, right? Bash CMD. If you just say echo dollar bash underscore CMDs, nothing is there. Okay, one more is there, dir underscore stack or whatever. Okay, or else let me go to the Ubuntu. Ubuntu might have some where is that? I was looking for one more actually. Where is it actually? Command document aliases. Okay, bash pd bash pd. It will show the version. It will show the pd of your bash shell. So bash underscore pid like this. So you can print your pid of your bash shell like this, or else you can use a double. Both are same actually. Okay. Hist CMD is also there. One more is there. I don't know whether it's there or not. They have removed it, I think. Yeah, they have removed, guys, actually. One more variable is there, which was used actually. Okay, well, that's fine. So now, whenever you want to check the version, you will just say bash underscore version. Okay. Whenever you want to check other information like EUID, effective user ID. Effective user ID is nothing but your UID of your particular user. Here, the user ID is username is Ubuntu. The effective user ID is 1000 only. Right, that you're getting, or else you can even execute with the ID command. ID or just say ID -u. You can even execute like this. It will show the ID. Okay, it will show the ID. Effective user ID, the user ID. 1 second. Understanding, both are same. Effective user ID, UID, both are same, guys. There's no difference actually. Effective user ID is but UID only. That's the value. Same thing. Effective user ID. Each and every user in a system will have an effective user ID, or you call it UID. User ID. So every user by the system is understood by the user ID itself. Actually, both are same actually. Now, after that, what else is there, guys? We need to understand a little bit, not that much. If you want to check what is your hist file, you saw that the hist file is nothing but your .bash underscore history. That is a file actually, right? Or hist file size in our case is that, but it will show you the number of lines what you can make an entry under the .bash underscore history. So that is nothing but your 2000 is a value in case of Ubuntu. Hist size is same actually. $home will keep you the home directory, under which home directory you're working. If you do echo $home, it say that you are under /home Ubuntu. IFS, we call it the interfield separator. In your bash shell, the interfield separator is either space or a tab. Now what happened when I execute echo dollar and give tab, you could see that there are so many columns are there like this. First column, second column, third column, fourth column. How you are differentiating, how the shell will differentiate between both all these 4 columns, because there is a space or a tab in between, right? That is what it is going to differentiate, right? So IFS means interfield separator. What is a default interfield separator in bash shell? It is either space or a tab is an interfield separator. Whereas in case of a C shell, okay, semicolon or the colon is the interfield separator there. So how it differentiates, how it understands the columns, because the colon should be there, interfield separator. Like for example, if you see etc passability file, can you see there are so many columns are there, but columns are maintained by the colon. See, first column, then column, then second column, then colon, third column, colon. So colon is an interfield separator here. Some shells supports or it behaves with a colon. If there is a colon, then only it doesn't understand that it is a different columns like that. Whereas in a bash or whether it's in a bound shell and all, IFS, interfield separator, is nothing but it is a space or a tab. Many times, guys, this IFS variable also we will be using in our script, because whenever you are doing some kind of a pattern doing, you might see that there could be a lot of columns are there where the columns are differentiated by the semicolons or the comma, whatever. And it comes to CSV file, right? CSV file. It's same thing like Excel file. CSV file happened. What happened? That CSV file will maintain records, and each and every record there will be comma. Now whenever you want to differentiate it, actually, whenever you want to differentiate between the columns, there it is a comma. So when writing a script, you will say that, okay, for running the script or to making sure that I read the CSV file, the interfield separator there is a comma actually. So you have to mention that IFS is comma over here, not space or a tab. Is it clear? Now, if you do an echo dollar question mark and go tap twice. After that, you have something as interface separator. You have something known as a OPT IND, OPT ERR. This where it comes, we will see it. There is something as echo dollar path. You have seen already from the last 2 days, right? Echo dollar path will give you the path information. Okay, where and all, whichever path the commands are present, that will have PPID, who is a parent PID, PS1 prompt, primary prompt, whatever you're seeing here, Ubuntu, IP address, this one. This is actually, it is coming from the PS1 prompt, guys. We can even change it also. Like, for example, PS1 is equal to, like this, Rajesh something, client100.server.com. Okay. Then say semicolon, then put a hash like this. Okay, I have to use uppercase actually, not the smaller one. Can you see here now the PS1 prompt has changed? Right? It means that when you're logging into the system, right? So what the shell will do, shell will also read this PS1 variable. See, PS1 variable. Correct? Now you will say that, Rajesh, sir, it has been changed now, sir, what to do? And no problem, man. You read only one configuration file. Source of etc profile. Reread the configuration, it will come back again here like this. You're not making it permanent actually. You want to make it permanent means you have to change the configuration file. Where you're changing the configuration file under etc profile. If you see it, if you watch carefully, if you open it carefully, can you see here? PS1 variable we are using here. We are using here actually. Now, if you come to the CentOS here, if you open the etc profile file, you see here the PS1 variable you're setting here somewhere else. Come down here. Effective user ID you're setting. Then PS1, it has not been set here. UMask is set here. Okay, you're trying to read the profile.data. Okay, let's see in the etc bash RC. In case of here. See, are you setting any PS1 prompt here? Somewhere? Yes, we are setting a PS prompt here. See, I'm setting a PS prompt here. This is how, see, you're setting a PS prompt here like that. So the PS prompt will give the primary prompt. When you log into the system, you'll get some kind of a primary prompt. How you are getting this? Because of the PS1 share variable. If somebody asks you, like, when you get a login prompt like this, how you are getting this login prompt? With which variable you're getting this login prompt? You have to say it is a PS1 share variable. So similarly, like that, you have a multiple variables like PS2, PS3, PS4. Like that, we have to understand it. Yes. Is there any common files to store all the variables? No, there's nothing like common files. Variables are not stored in a file, sir. Variables are stored within your shell, actually. Within a shell memory, the variables are stored, actually. Variables, yes, okay. PS2 is there, PS4 is there. PS2 is nothing but your secondary prompt. If I execute PS2, it shows a greater sign. What it say that PS2 means secondary prompt. Suppose, for example, when a user is working on a system or in a shell, by mistake it does something so that it will get a secondary prompt. Like for example, if I do an ls, along with ls, I'm using even the code also. Can you see? It has got into the secondary prompt. I can come back to the primary part by pressing Control C. So when I do a Control C, you'll come back to the primary prompt. So this is not about primary prompt. PS2 is not about secondary prompt. So whenever you're doing some mistake, your shell will shift it to the secondary prompt, PS2 variable, PS2 shell prompt. Then again, you can come back to the previous part by pressing either Control C, or you can even say exit also. PS4 shell variable, it is nothing but this is for the plus sign. Plus sign. So when I do echo dollar PS4, I think it will not print actually. It has to show, oh yeah, plus mark it to show actually. Right? It will show plus mark. What it means that, guys, whenever your shell script is under debugging, whenever you're debugging the shell script, it will use the PSV4 shell variable to debug your shell script actually. So whenever you're debugging it, internally it uses the PS4 shell variable. Even we have a PS3 also, but they have deprecated or they removed it. Suppose you go to the conf shell. Here you do a echo dollar PS3. I think it should print, yeah, hash question mark. So PS3 is also one of the variable where it is used by the select statement. Select statement uses internally the PS3 shell variable. Is it clear? Like that way, similarly, you have something like the PWD, current working directory. If you execute the echo dollar PWD, it will have the current working directory. Right? Like that. One more was the hits was there. I don't know where it went actually. There's something the hits was there. It means that number of commands what I executed, it will maintain the hist actually. Bash commands. I think that they have removed it actually. It no longer required. That's what they might have removed it. Clear, guys? So this is some of the shell variables, guys, which you need to have some knowledge actually. Whenever you're working system, you should have the information about the whatever are the variables which are already been provided or defined within your bash shell. Is it clear, guys? Okay, guys. So let us stop here. So let me know if you have any questions now. It's a time for the question answers. And also what we will be covering tomorrow. So in a tomorrow session, morning session, right, we will start with the commands. I might be explaining about some 20 to 25 commands or some major important commands or important commands I'll be covering. It might be 20 or 25 commands, important commands I'll be covering. That is first point. The second important thing what we'll be covering is that, but we need to cover something of the pipes. Pipes, redirection operator. We want to cover it. These are all 5-10 minutes topics. And very important is that we need to cover the said talk, find, grep command, and some other commands like T command, xargs command, okay, exec command, command, like that.
Regular expressions.
Yes, regular expression, it will come along with while explaining about your sed and awk. No, I'll be explaining about the regular expression also. Yes. This is what we will be starting tomorrow. Maybe the first 2.5 hours, right? We will be covering only the commands. And after that, we will be learning about the VI editor. I will not go in detail. I will only go with a very creamy layer. What is the VI editor? How to use it actually? And then what how to do that? We need to understand that whether I need to know some kind of editors to work with a shell script. Yes, you need to use editor, but a lot of people use Notepad++. They use it, or else they use a Visual Studio Code editor to write the code and then run it actually. So what we'll do in our class, we will be using C++, Notepad, C++, so that we will be able to write all the program scripts, everything Notepad++, and then we will try to copy it also. So for copying and all, I will install the WinSCP in my system, and then I'll try to copy whatever the content is in the Notepad++ directly into the server where I want to execute that script. So whenever I write any notepad, directly it will do a sync and it will try to do a copy operation by using WinSCP. I need not to do always copy. It automatically does that. So I need to do some settings of how to copy it actually. That we will see. So once that is done, guys, then we will start learning about the basic shell scripting. This is what our journey will start and writing a shell scripting tomorrow. So we might not completely complete by tomorrow itself. So hopefully on 23rd, like the 23rd also, I will be taking up around 2 to 3 sessions where I will be finishing from the basic. Anyhow, we will be starting tomorrow, but on the next weekend, Saturday, guys, it will be continue there also. Then we will even touch up a lot of advanced scripts also, so that you will get to know about how exactly the script works and what are the advanced scripts are there, and how I have to learn writing all these advanced scripts. There you will get a lot of ideas. So once that is done, then we will be taking some sessions on troubleshooting and a few sessions on our interview question answers, important interview question answers. Interview question answers. This is how we will be covering up, and we will be winding up our sessions, right? Important interview questions and answers. With answers also, we need to understand. This itself will take like 2 or 3 hours. It will take me to cover up all the things, because I will come up with all the question answers. Question with answers I will come up. Then just I will go through all the question answers with you. I will explain it, and then I will dictate the question. There itself the answer will be there. Then I will give you some assignments and all. I'll give you to come up with the script actually assignments. Once this is all done, guys, then you are ready. You know the whole programming construct of how things works, everything in scripting. Now you should start reading books, start practicing. At least write minimum 1 script every day you write, to make sure that you will understand how the script works. That is a very important. Unless and until you don't write a script by your own, right, it is very difficult. You might understand somebody has written a script, you will see and you will understand it. That is fine. But when you will write the script, right, then only you will find a lot of issues. Then you will find a lot of bugs in your script. You will fix that issues from the script. Actually, that is what the learning curve is all about. Even when I started writing a script 10 years back, right, I was very like I was doing a lot of mistakes actually. Slowly, what happened? I started learning from my mistakes only. So you need to start learning the scripts by coding it every day, guys. So please make sure that every day you need to write at least 1 shell script. You have to write it. That is a stepping stone. And you need to refer many other sites. A lot of articles are there. You can go to the www.shelldorado.com. This is a website. You will get all scripts. Many of the scripts you'll get. Lot of scripts are there even in our documentation also. Whatever the PDFs or documents, plus lot of examples, script examples you will get in PDFs plus in documents, and even in articles also. If you're reading any articles in your Google, right, you will see many articles where they have given a lot of scripts are there. So this is what you need to learn, guys. This is how you have to learn. Is it clear? Yes, we will be covering set and awk, guys. Yes. So whatever the basic shell scripting tomorrow I'm covering, right? I need a 2 hours of session, or at least 1.5 hour session on understanding about set and awk programming. We will be covering in detail about this, because this is very much useful. While writing a script, we will be using this set and awk effectively in our script. Without a set and awk, right, you might not able to accomplish everything. Set and awk are mandatory stuff. This is a heart actually. Both this command, set and awk, are used for file processing. Whenever you're doing any operation under the file, right, to majorly achieve many kind of an operation, you need to use these commands very well. This is a very basic stepping stone for you to do advanced scripting. Means you have to learn set and awk. Set and awk, because of set and awk only, the people who working set and awk, they found a lot of limitation. That's the reason there was a birth of the language, and the Perl was evolved. Perl was evolved because that set and awk was not able to accomplish everything. And the Larry Page, right? The Larry Wall or Larry Page. I think Larry Page is the guy who designed the Perl. He was doing a lot of file format. He was doing a lot of operation on the file. There are many things were there where he was not able to achieve the kind of output what he needed from the set and awk command. Then only the birth of the Perl script came into the picture actually. The same Larry Page, right? He designed the Perl language actually. So he took a lot of ideas from set and awk, and then he designed this Perl language. But of course, Perl nowadays nobody is using, but some industries are using Perl, because Perl is also very effective scripting, or you can call it a programming language. but nowadays Perl has been replaced with the Python, guys, actually. So now what happened, right? Whenever you write any script or any automation script, first you please write in a shell script only. First you write into the shell script. You make sure that, okay, whether it works in a shell script or not, or whether I can able to write. So once you start writing a shell script, once you are very much comfortable, convert all the scripts, convert from the Bash to Python. This is one challenging task where every industry is facing now. So they might have maintained tons and tons of shell scripts. Suddenly one day your manager will come, he will say that please update on Python, he'll say. So they'll give 1 month of time or 1.5 month time to have to update on all Python. Then he will say that please convert all the shell script into Python. Can you able to convert? Yes, sir, I know now I can convert. Start converting all the script to the Python. So that is also one of the stepping stone to you to learn Python also. It means that once you learn the Python in code, now the question comes how I can convert my existing script into the Python program. That is a challenging task. So for that, you need to learn Python very well. Is it clear, guys? 1 second, guys. Okay,
Yes,
guys.
sir.
Chalo, then that's all for today. We will cover. We'll connect tomorrow at 6 o'clock morning.
Okay, sir.
Python course, not Ram. Ram, as of now, no. Python, no. We don't have a time to cover Python now. It will be only for next year only, sir. Next year, Jan or Feb, I will take Python. See, taking Python, no, to be very specific or to be very to be very specific with you. If I want to take a complete Python session, sir, we need a minimum of 60 to 80 hours. Okay. Some people you might have seen in some organization or institute, some people or some organization, they even took 100 hours of even on Python also. But do you think that we can give 40 hours, 50 hours of learning Python? What I can do that I can take maximum of 25 hours of Python. I can take where I will cover almost all the programming aspect of Python. Then on top of that, you start building your own actually. But I'll make sure that the 25 hours, whatever I will tell you in the Python, that will be effective for you. From there, your journey starts in learning many more in Python actually. So please make sure that nobody is there. Some institutes are there where they'll charge money. Like if you go to, I'm just taking, if you go to the Naresh-IT Technology, there some authors are there. I don't remember. They're taking hundreds of hours in Python. They're charging 16,000 rupees Python programming. Similarly, you have in Hyderabad, there's a Durga Soft is there. They'll also charge, they're charging 6,000 to 8,000 they're charging. They're covering up to 60 or 40 or 60 hours they're covering on Python. You'll get that like that. So there what happened that you have to completely concentrate only on Python, right? No other thing. Once you learn everything Python, then you start coding it, then you will understand how exactly things works in Python. Then the first task what will be given is whatever your existing script is, please convert everything into the Python. Like that they will tell you. Or if there is new assignment comes, start coding in Python only. Don't write any shell script. Write in coding in Python. They'll say. So that is what. So you will be using all this programming aspect, whatever learned in Python, you'll be using in your script actually, in your Python script while writing it. So that is also very important, guys. Learning Python is not so easy. Means it looks very easy, but when it comes to finally, when it comes to the programming, when you start coding, there only you'll face the difficulty, right? So that's what learning is very simple. Everything is very simple. You can learn shell scripting in 1 week only. That's not a big thing. You can take any book and read 1 week. You will learn everything. But what happened when it comes to the real time, when you start working on a script, right? There only you'll face a lot of hurdles actually, because when you start freshly writing a script, right, you might not be aware of many concepts. You might not be aware of about many of the things which you need to incorporate while writing scripting. That will slowly come when you start working in a scripting. Is it clear?
Yes, sir.
Fine. So, guys, any questions, guys, before we wind up?
No, sir.
No,
Others,
sir.
guys?
No, sir. Everything
No,
is
sir.
So today you learned
Everything is
something.
good.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Yes,
yes,
sir.
sir.
So, sir, whatever I learned in the last 5 sessions, sir, I have forgotten everything. Today's only, it should be not be like that, because you have to practice also. See, I understand, because we are taking a very lengthy session, 2.5 hour session. You know that in the morning, 2.5 hour session, whatever you cover now, some of you might have forgotten. Don't remember, right? But what you have to do that, you have to go back to the video again, go through it, learn, hear it, understand whatever is important, relevant, you read it actually. Then if you want to forward, make it forward, again read it. It's not like that you have to sit it continuously for 2.5 hours. No, you know that, okay, Rajesh, in the 30th minute, he has covered this. Let me go and read that only. Don't read it completely. It might bore you. For some people, you might feel very difficult to go through everything. But you go to the relevant topic and learn it, and then move forward. Then learn something, go forward. So once you learn, once you practice, now you start reading the books, PDFs. Now you'll learn in a very effective way. Reading the books, PDFs only will make you more perfect, guys. And that is a hard truth. Please read the PDFs, read the books. It is very important. Clear? So see, today we covered so many things we covered from morning. Yes, we remember many things, but yeah, that's fine. But what happened that you need to always remember the main points, whatever I discussed, right? Then go ahead with learning the scripting part. Clear? Okay, guys. Chalo then. Let me stop the recording.